Just mean, oh, that's a nice view, let me grab my phone. I mean a moment where the scenery literally freezes you.
Right.
You stop walking, you stop talking, you might even stop thinking for a second. You just become part of it.
It's a really profound experience. The Romantic poets, they had a word for it, the sublime, that mix of awe and terror and beauty.
Yeah, but usually that's for, like, the Grand Canyon or the Alps.
Exactly, these huge, almost intimidating places. But today, we're looking at something much more intimate, but just as powerful.
We are. We're taking a deep dive into a really fascinating piece of literature. It's a Tamil poem, and it's called Pollachi's Glory, an ode to Animalized embrace.
Or Pollachi Pesum Perumai in the original Tamil.
And what I love about this is that it's not a travel guide. It's not, top 10 things to see. It's a love letter. A love letter to a place.
It absolutely is. It treats the landscape not as this passive thing you look at, but as something that acts upon you.
And we have to talk about who wrote it.
Yeah.
The poet, J. Karen. His background is not at all what you'd expect for this kind of romantic flowing poetry.
Not at all.
I mean, I was looking at his credentials. They did the alphabet soup of academia. He has an MA, a Bachelor of Science, a Bachelor of Education, a postgraduate diploma in industrial chemistry.
Right. You see a list like that, BSc, BE, PGIC, and you think, okay, this is an analytical mind, a scientist.
You're expecting a report on soil composition or something.
Exactly. But what we get instead is just this raw, unfiltered emotion.
And that contrast, for me, is what's so cool. It suggests the beauty of this region, Pollachi in Tamil Nadu, is just so potent. It can crack open even the most, structured academic brain.
And that is really our mission for this deep dive. We're going to unpack how J.S. Karen connects the physical landscape, the river, the hills, the mist, to this incredibly intense personal sense of ecstasy.
We're going to trace his journey and see how a place can actually define a person. And he starts big. I mean, the very first image in the poem just sets the stakes so high.
He doesn't ease you in, though. The power dynamic is established immediately.
Okay, so let's get into that. The poem opens with the line, Anamalai Adharavil Pollachi.
And that word, Adharavil, it's key. It translates to support, care, maybe patronage. But here, it feels so much more physical.
How so?
Well, Anamalai is the Elephant Mountain, so you have this massive, massive geological formation. And the poet isn't just saying Pollachi is near it, he's saying Pollachi rests in the care, or even the embrace of this mountain.
Wow, that completely changes the vibe, doesn't it? It makes the mountain sound like a guardian, a protector, not just a rock.
Precisely. And then almost immediately, the poet puts himself in the picture. He says, Pollachi vas silnan ulasi.
Ulasi. I love this word.
It means joyful, ecstatic, a reveler. But it's more than just being happy. It implies a whole state of being.
So he's saying that just by being greeted by Pollachi, he becomes this embodiment of joy.
And notice, the town is alive. It's speaking. It's glory. It's greeting him. It's an active participant.
And then he makes this huge claim. He says that because of this place, he has become the target for India's gaze.
And this is where it shifts from the purely personal to national significance. He talks about the breeze of the Aliar River.
Right.
And the phrasing is important. He says he is subjected to it or caught within this breeze. It's the specific connection that makes him feel like the focal point for the entire country.
That is so bold. It's like saying, I am standing here in this specific wind, and that makes me the center of the universe right now.
It's a way of elevating Pollachi, of saying, if you aren't looking here, you're missing the real soul of India. And notice that passivity again. He's subjected to the breeze. He's not in control. He's surrendering. Speaking
of surrendering, let's talk about the sound of the place. He doesn't just look. He listens. There's a specific line about Kongu Tamil Urayado.
Kongu Tamil conversation. Yes, this is such a crucial detail. You can't separate a landscape from the people in it.
And Kongu Tamil is the local dialect there, right?
It is. It's the specific dialect of that western part of Tamil Nadu. It has a very distinct cadence. It's known for being very respectful, very melodious.
So by naming it, he's grounding the poem in a specific cultural soil. It's not just some generic beautiful place.
Exactly. It adds texture. You can almost hear the lilt of the language in the background. This paradise is inhabited.
Okay, then things get a little spicy, or at least romantic. He moves his gaze up from the plains to Valparai.
Ah, yes, Valparai, the hill station.
He calls Valparai the bow for Man-Matha's arrow.
For anyone who might not know, Man-Matha is basically the Indian equivalent of Cupid. the god of love and desire.
So he's looking at the landscape and seeing a weapon of love.
It's a brilliant metaphor. I mean, visually, if you've ever seen the road up to Valparai, it has something like 40 hairpin bends.
Oh, wow.
It curves and winds just like a drawn bow, so it fits visually, but metaphorically. A bow implies potential energy. It implies this place is ready to strike you.
It implies you don't stand a chance.
You're the target. Exactly. It connects the geography directly to the feeling of falling in love. The landscape itself is armed with beauty.
And apparently a very cold beauty. There's this playful little rhyme he uses next that I just love. He talks about the weather using the word chillagi.
Right, Jill, from the English word chill. He says the weather becomes jillagi. It gets chilly.
And because it becomes jillagi, his mouth becomes Pollachi.
From pal, meaning tooth. He's saying he's showing his teeth. He's smiling.
It's such a simple, perfect cause and effect. The cold hits you, and you can't help but grin.
It captures that physical reaction you have at a hill station, you know? You step out of the car, that cool mist hits your face, and you just instinctively smile. It's a bodily happiness, not an intellectual one.
I can feel that. And as we keep moving up, the poem starts mapping specific emotions to specific landmarks. It's like an emotional geography. First, the Malai Kutum, the mountain cry.
The gathering of mountains, yes. And he calls being near them, Heron Bam, great bliss.
But then he immediately contrasts that with Monkey Falls.
The waterfall.
He says the waterfall gives Thani Inbam,
which is unique bliss or solitary bliss. And this is a really fascinating distinction he's making.
Okay, let's unpack that. Why distinguish between great bliss and unique bliss?
Well, think about the visual experience. The Malai Kutum, the mountain crowd, is vast. It's panoramic. You feel small in this huge, beautiful world that's great bliss, the bliss of awe.
Right.
But a waterfall.
A waterfall is loud. It's immediate. It's right there.
It's a singular, focused, intense column of water. When you stand near a waterfall, the rest of the world kind of disappears. It's just you and the water. So it's Thani Inbam, a solitary, unique pleasure. It tunnels your vision.
That is a beautiful way to put it. The mountains are the orchestra, the waterfall is the solo.
Precisely, and he keeps going, taking us even higher to a place called Atakati.
And at Atakati, the focus shifts again. Now it's about Penamota, the mist.
The fog, and that brings its own kind of pleasure. It's about obscurity, about mystery. The visibility is dropping, but the feeling of delight is actually rising.
So we've gone from the river breeze to the chill, to the crowd of mountains, the solitary waterfall, and now the mist. It feels like a crescendo. We're building to something.
We are. All of these sensory inputs are overwhelming the system, and this is where the poem hits its climax. The transformation we mentioned at the start.
The statue line.
Yes. He says, Silayanan.
I became a statue.
This is the pivotal moment. All that input, the cold, the mist, the views, it finally just short-circuits his ability to move. He stops.
And he gives a reason for it. Yarkai then the Kothalinal.
Because of nature's caress or nature's gift. It's an interesting word, kothal. It can mean a playful teasing or even a fondling. It's very intimate.
So nature didn't just impress him, it reached out and touched him.
And that touch froze him in time. It's the ultimate compliment to a landscape, isn't it? You are so beautiful, you stop me dead in my tracks.
It is. But then, just when we think we get it, nature's beautiful, man is impressed, he adds a layer of complexity, we go back to the mountains.
The duality of the mountains. This is one of the most sophisticated parts of the poem, I think.
We have Animalai, which we establish as the supportive, embracing parental figure. But then he brings in another one, Solamalai.
Solamalai. And the description here is totally different. He says, Solamalai, asetane usupira, it stirs up desires.
So we have a duality. Support versus desire. Comfort versus passion.
Absolutely. This is the complexity of our relationship with nature. On one hand, Animalai is comforting, maternal, safe. On the other, Solamalai is provoking, stirring, awakening something in you.
It's like the two sides of a relationship. You want comfort, but you also want passion.
And the landscape of Pollachi offers both. It mirrors the human experience. Sometimes you go to nature for peace, to be held, and sometimes you go to feel alive and stirred up.
It's a whole emotional ecosystem. You get the hug and you get the spark, and then we get to the crime scene.
The crime scene.
The robbery. The poet says the landscape is set up to kalaida, to rob or to plunder.
Ah, yes. Kalaida vatidute kachigalai. It has arranged the scenes specifically to rob you.
That sounds so aggressive. Like, what's being stolen here?
His heart, his sight, his sense of self. It's a benevolent theft, you know? You aren't losing your wallet, you're losing your resistance.
Yeah.
The beauty is so powerful it just takes everything from you.
The landscape as a thief. That's a powerful image. And usually when something is stolen or when there's a transaction, there's a price.
And that is exactly how Jayasekaran ends this, with that rhetorical question. Ifuvulai, what is the price? What does all this cost?
And the answer isn't money. You can't just buy a ticket for this experience.
No. The answer he gives is Negajinda Manam.
A moved heart. Or a melted heart.
A melted heart. The currency you pay with is your own emotional surrender. You offer it up. That's the only fair trade for what you've received.
That really brings it all home. We started with a man of science, a man of facts and figures, and we ended with a man whose heart has literally melted in front of a mountain range.
It's a reminder that no matter how much we analyze the world, no matter how rational we think we are, we're still emotional creatures. We're designed to respond to our environment. Jayasekaran's poem shows us that geography isn't just a map, it's an active participant in our lives.
It really is. It makes you think about the places we visit. We think we're just passing through, but this poem suggests they're doing work on us, hugging us, teasing us, robbing us, and turning us into statues.
And he makes the case that Pollachi isn't just a town, it's a sanctuary. It's a place where the breeze and the mist collaborate to create a state of ulasi, of pure joy.
So here's a question for you listening. We've talked about Animali, the mountain that supports and embraces.
And that statue moment, that feeling of being frozen by beauty.
Right. So where is your Animali? Where is the place that doesn't just house you, but actually supports you? And here's a thought to leave you with, based on that statue metaphor.
If a landscape is powerful enough to turn you into a statue, to make you perfectly still, does that mean that in that moment the landscape finally comes alive? Maybe we have to stop moving so we can finally hear the mountains.
Something to think about the next time a view stops you in your tracks. Don't fight it, let it rob you. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
See you next time.